Hey everyone, Dr. Peterson here from Peterson Chiropractic. Today I have Amanda Tovar, registered dietitian, with me to kind of talk about nutrition and how it really corresponds to real life. And what I was just learning about her is that she has a lot of real life experience as well. She really helped to reverse her husband and her dad's pre-diabetes to normal glucose levels, and she's literally been eating gluten-free since 2019 when she was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. So she really knows how to incorporate this into real life. And I think today we're going to really focus in on general nutrition and just foundations, and then we can go from there on future episodes. So let me ask you the first question. What does eating healthier actually mean? And specifically, how can you simplify it so actually people can incorporate it without feeling overwhelmed?
So that's a great question, Dr. Tim. I think in just a short phrase, if people can increase their fiber intake through fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, this is a way to massively increase nutrition. So increasing vitamin and mineral and phytochemical intake to help fight heart disease, cancer, just help increase vitality overall, increase energy, and just really maximize that beautiful potential for life. So what that looks like in a day-to-day way or meal by meal is to really try to increase the produce that you have. So you have more vegetables, more fruits, and then anytime you have grains, you try to choose the whole grains.
Excellent. Well, and it's interesting because my next question was, what are some of the small, easy changes that make a big difference in how people feel day to day? And I think that plate kind of simplifies it, that the emphasis needs to be on the vegetable and produce side of the tray, and not so much on need more pasta, more tortillas.
Exactly, yes. And I always tell people your shopping cart should look the same way when you go grocery shopping. So making sure half that grocery cart is full of the fruits and veggies and the whole grains to really build that fiber filled meal. And the other benefit of fiber is that it helps people feel full. So, oftentimes people say, well, I'm just so ravenous, I wanted to eat whatever was right in front of me. And many times that's fast food. But we have to remember that God created the ultimate fast food, which is fruits and veggies, because you can usually just rinse those and they're good to go and you can consume them. So
Right. Prepping is important.
yes, but also, bananas, carrots, they're pretty low preparation, so
Yeah.
I like that too.
Absolutely.
Another small change to answer your question is to always have water with you, and I know you all emphasize that a whole lot.
Yeah.
But many times our signaling in our own bodies gets crossed and people think, oh, well, I'm hungry, but in reality, they're actually thirsty.
Sure.
So boosting that water intake is huge. And we have to remember that we're 75% water, roughly. So we need to make sure to replenish that, especially because we live in Texas and it's so hot.
That's great advice. Going back to the grocery cart, you talked about what to put in your grocery cart, but isn't it true if you leave something out of your grocery cart, it's at least not going to make it into your home, like junk food?
So. Yes, that's a great piece of advice too.
Yeah.
People should keep in mind. Just really exercising that self-control, right, and self-discipline, and saying, okay, I'm just going to leave this at the store so it's not a temptation at home.
Yeah. All right, so there's a lot of conflicting information on diets, right?
Yes.
Diet almost ends up being a bad word for people.
Absolutely.
Keto, intermittent fasting, vegan, etc. How do you help people find what truly works for them?
That is a great question. So usually when I sit down with my clients, I find out about their past health history and also look into their family history and see if they have a history of heart disease or diabetes, or perhaps they've had their own personal struggles with weight gain or weight loss, just depending on what they've gone through personally. So depending on that, that's when I'll start to recommend something specific. But really, generally speaking, you cannot go wrong with filling half your plate with veggies and just exercising portion control with that main course. Because I think overall, as Americans, we get overly zealous with the portion of the main course, and in doing so, we find ourselves getting full on that, and we neglect taking in those things that are truly rich in those essential nutrients that we need to be operating at our best.
So maybe eat the vegetables first and then the main course after?
Maybe if you order a salad to start or have a vegetable rich soup as a starter. But I think just making sure you have them represented on your plate so
Mhm.
that you don't serve the main course and say, oh, well, I'll go back and eat that salad later, or I'll go back and serve those steamed veggies later, and then you're too full.
Because
to
we're
do
taught
that.
to clear our plate, I guess, right?
Yes.
So make sure it's filled with the right stuff.
Exactly.
Very cool. All right. Another question just with general nutrition, because everybody gets their information online nowadays.
Yes.
So what are some red flags when it comes to advice that people are getting online for as far as nutrition goes?
That's a good question. So I would say just keep in mind that it's not going to be personalized.
Mhm.
It's always going to be addressing a certain audience or be targeted to the general population. So because everyone has unique needs, it is good to inform yourself and do some reading. I think there's, a lot to be gained from that, but always go back to your healthcare professional and get that targeted information and goal that
Right.
is good for you.
So not one size fits all,
Exactly.
especially when they're selling a product.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is a very good caveat to keep
Yeah.
in mind.
Well, very cool. Well, I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
With Amanda, just has learned so much about nutrition over the years. She's a great wealth of knowledge to just pick her brain. And what we are putting into our bodies is crucial. So I appreciate y'all for listening today.
Thank you.